Hey YouTube, doing a video here on two Toro Recycler mowers. Well, actually, this one over here is the Recycler, and this one here is the Super Recycler. Uh, this is my original mower. This one's about 13 years old. Toro regular Recycler, Tecumseh motor, still runs fine. Tecumseh engine. Now, have I had to clean the carb? Yeah. Have I rebuilt the carb? Yeah. Other than that, starts right up, cuts fine, bag's good, but everything works well on this. Sometimes if the grass is a little high, it doesn't really recycle um, as well as I would like to. So I did see another video where they did a side-by-side comparison of the two, and the Super Recycler got a better rating for mulching ability. Now, just as a disclaimer, I'm not being paid or endorsed here by Toro to do this, but if you want an in-depth review, there is a good review by Alan Hain, his channel, Lawn Care Nut, discusses the both of them. So I had heard that this was a good, very good recycling mower. So I had been looking for one for a while, and I happened to find this one this year that was for sale. But that gets into a second discussion where I was referring to this particular engine on another video that Bruce Pender had done. This is actually the same type of engine. And I noticed on his video that at one point he was saying that he had some gas leak out of the air filter here. And just a little background on this one. When I picked it up, the guy who had it said he rebuilt the carb, or he cleaned it actually. It did start up, but I did notice that there was a leak coming out of here at the time. Now, the mower itself, was in really good condition. It started right up. This is an aluminum deck, cast aluminum deck. As far as how this cuts and mulches, I would say excellent. There basically there is no mulch when this thing, it just shreds everything, and there's no discernible pieces or anything. That was the problem I was having with the other one. It was just getting a real good mulch out of it. I mean, it did work well 90% of the time, but there was some occasions where it would leave something, whereas this one wouldn't. So, but anyway, get back to this one. I mean, I would consider this Super Recycler like a premium mower. I mean, it's got aluminum fittings here. There's grease fittings on those back wheels back there. So in general, the mower itself, I'd say is very good. The engine that's on here is this Honda clone. I think he had identified it in that video as Loncin or some company like that. The issue I had was that, on this Tecumseh here, for how old it is or whatever, I could find parts and rebuild this carb. On this one, when I took it apart, the bowl inside had some corrosion, which I normally would change, and the bowl gasket, I didn't think it was really the best, which I would change, but I couldn't really source any parts. So then I tried to find a replacement carb, and I couldn't find a replacement carb either. That was exactly the same configuration with the auto choke system. So just the short on this one is that I did a carb clean ultrasonically, put it back together. The bowl came out pretty clean, put it back together, and I still had this flooding or leak. It wasn't like pouring out, but there would be a little something here, a little something coming out here. So it wasn't dripping gas, but it wasn't right. So I took it apart again, ultrasonically tried to clean it, put it back together, had the same issue. So finally, I just determined that maybe if I had a carb kit, I would have changed everything, changed all the gaskets, float needle, all that stuff. Probably would have been done. instead, without being able to, locate an actual replacement, uh, was kind of stuck in that situation. So what I did was I took this apart one final time, and I figured it must be the needle in the seat if it's got any kind of leak in it. So even though I ultrasonically cleaned it twice, I took it off, and there is not a uh, seat, so to speak, that is replaceable in here, like this one, or the Briggs motor. It's kind of more the Honda style. So what I had to do was I saw a video where a YouTuber, I think Double Wide 6, got a Q-tip with some carb cleaner and went down into that area where the needle goes to clean that out. So I tried that, and I could still see that the brass jet in there was dirty. So I actually had to use some auto buffing compound. Ran it down in there, and it came out black like this. So I ran it through a second time, came out like that, and then finally a third time, and then finally finished it up with some carb cleaner. But once I got that clean and put it back together, and also too, the bowl gasket was bad, so I took that off. I tried to find a alternate gasket. I tried a Briggs gasket, won't work. I had a Tecumseh gasket, which I was able to actually, stretch it out to fit in there, but it was a little bit higher than it should be versus the one that was in here. So when the bowl went on, where the nut went down, it was sitting a little higher. But as it sits right now, it's it's performing okay. And the idle also, I had to change or clean out that idle jet, was plugged up. If you look at Bruce's video, he does that where he takes that out. There's two O-rings on there. Both, when I pulled them off, they're both disintegrating. So then I had to try to find a source for O-rings because I couldn't find parts. So I was able to get a O-ring assortment package at Harbor Freight that had the proper O-rings. So I was able to get that back together. So right now, how it works, well, it starts up fine, it runs good, everything's good on it. My personal opinion on these motors would be that if they run well, then they're a good motor. They sell this recycler. If I was to buy it new, it would come with a Toro motor, or for like $100 more, you could get a Honda motor. If I was going to spend the amount of money to buy this Super Recycler, I would probably go and just buy the Honda motor on here and spend the extra money. That's my opinion, but as far as how it runs now, and that's sort of an issue that I have just in general. I much prefer to work on a Briggs, or I guess even a Honda or a Tecumseh, being that if I could get the parts that I need and be able to fix something properly. So let me give you a start up on this so you can see how it runs. Okay, so this will be a cold start. Oh, can't really pull it too well. So it runs good now. Not much more I can say on that. So if you like the video, or you have any comments particularly about these kind of engines, and where maybe you can find parts if you need them, I'd be interested. Okay, thanks.